my name is Jenny. Exciting news that you probably have already seen already. California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, study abroad. The basis of my channel is a lot of those items. Alright, hi and welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting day for me because there are some new people that have followed and joined the community here that I am growing on YouTube. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I figured this would be a great opportunity to introduce myself or reintroduce myself. I have a bunch of questions that are just like standard get to know me questions on my phone. So I'm going to kind of bounce around through some of these. If you have any additional questions that you would like to ask me, feel free to comment down below and ask me any of your questions, and we'll get to them in another Q&A later on. Friendly reminder to subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell notification if you'd like to be notified of every new upload, as well as like the video if you like it. Now that we've got all that business out of the way, let's go ahead and get on into the video. Question one is just kind of your standard, what's your name, age? Hi, my name is Jenny. I am 31. I was born in November. I am a Scorpio. I am married, so I have a wonderful husband. His name is Eric, and you've seen him pop on in a couple of videos, and of course he'll join us in other videos. We got married in 2020 in the middle of the COVID pandemic. We didn't know what the wedding would look like. We knew we still wanted to get married, but we didn't know who we would be allowed to have with us. Held it outdoors, kept the group very, very small. Been married for about 2 years. Exciting news that you probably have already seen already, if not the link will be up here. Our big news, and we are pregnant. Yes, we are pregnant with our first child, and we are expecting this baby at the end of April, early May. As far as my beliefs are concerned, I would identify more with Christianity if I had to put a label on it. I do believe in God. Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. I consider it more of a spiritual relationship as it's very personal between me and my Lord. Where do we live? A little bit vague about this. We are in the United States. We live in California, and we live in the northern part of California. What do I do what's my job? My job right now is I am in the mortgage industry, currently working in home mortgages. However, that wasn't my original career path. Once the pandemic hit in 2020 and a lot of shutdown happened around the world, I ended up having to switch my careers. Originally, I was a sales manager for corporate events and catering at hotels. A little sprinkling of marketing in there as well. Next question is, did I go to school or college, and where was that? So yes, I did go to college, graduated from California State University, Sacramento, or also known as Sacramento State. Went to school there, was there for about 5 years from 2009 to 2014, and graduated with a Bachelor's of Science. The easy way to explain it is that it's a hospitality degree, but the actual full name is a Recreation Parks and Tourism Administration with a concentration in commercial recreation. A little bit of a mouthful, so I like to just let people know I have a degree in hospitality and tourism instead of explaining the whole recreation parks and tourism with a concentration and blah, blah, blah. So, but that is a Bachelor of Science from the California State University, Sacramento. Have I always lived in Northern California? I have not always lived in Northern California. If you have been with us from the beginning of the YouTube channel, you would know that we were actually living in Southern California down in San Diego when my channel first started. We were there for 3 years. Had a little beach apartment, which was fantastic. It was a great experience to have a tiny, like 500 square foot apartment there on the beach in San Diego. We had Yogi, our first dog, there at that beach house with us. We were there for 2 years. And then we decided to buy our first home. That was an actual single family home, and we got our second dog, Yeti. Yogi and Yeti have been pretty much inseparable since then. Thick as thieves, double trouble. Yeti has been very good for Yogi, and Yogi's been very good for Yeti. They're both rescues, and they have their own stories. I lived down there for 3 years, and then moved up a little over a year ago back to Northern California. Eric and myself are both from Northern California, so having been born here, raised here, gone to high school up in Northern California, different communities, so we didn't know each other until later in life. I did do a short stint that, yes, I did study abroad when I was in college. I studied abroad in Australia. So I lived in Sydney, Australia for a semester, about 6 months, and that was awesome. Very eye-opening experience, and I would recommend traveling at a young age to anybody. If you can figure out how to make that happen for yourself, I highly recommend traveling at a young age. It just opens up your mind to so many other possibilities out there. So next question, which states in the USA have I traveled to? And I went ahead and did the math on that. I've been to 32 states. So I'll go ahead and try and list those off right now. California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Idaho, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, North and South Carolinas, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, Alaska, and Hawaii. Staying on the traveling topic, which countries have I been to? So of course I've been in the US of A, and then I spent a whopping of 5 hours in Victoria, Canada. So that was when I was younger. I was on a cruise to Alaska, and that was our last stop before getting off the boat. So I have been to Canada, but not for very long. I've been to Mexico a handful of times. So we went to Cancun when I was younger, traveling with my family. And then when I was older, when a handful of my closest friends were turning 30, we did a big trip with the whole group of our friends down to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. And that was a great trip. So US of A, Canada, Mexico. I mentioned studying abroad. So I did study abroad in Australia. And from Australia, during my mid-semester break, and I went over to New Zealand. 4 of us rented a van and kind of toured around the South Island of New Zealand, so that was fun. My sister and I, right after she graduated from nursing school at Sacramento State and I graduated with my bachelor's, we decided to go to Ireland. Flew over to Ireland, and we did stop over in London, so I will count, you know, being in the UK. We didn't spend very much time in the UK. There was just a few days there before and after Ireland. I loved Ireland. I think Ireland is fantastic. I would love to take Eric back to Ireland. Eric and I have many plans to travel, so if we can make that happen, we will. What hobbies do I have? I already guessed that a lot of the hobbies that I have right now include, you know, home renovation, yoga, DIY projects. The basis of my channel is a lot of those items. But other items that you might not actually know about me is that I'm really into snowboarding. Really love. Missing out on it this year just for safety purposes. I've opted to not snowboard while pregnant. Some people do. Happy for you. Jealous that you're willing to do that and that you come out of it safely. Yeah, it's just not something I'm willing to risk. So I'm not snowboarding this year, which is a bummer. And yes, we do have snow in California. We're not all beaches and palm trees here. We do get snow up in the mountains. Another one of my hobbies is rock climbing, and I haven't been doing this very much in the last few years, but it is something I still love deeply. All throughout college, I worked at a rock climbing gym. I worked all the way up to being the manager of the rock climbing gym, starting out as a party counselor. Favorite jobs to date has been working at the rock climbing gym. Great people that came through there, have climbed indoor and outdoor. I love games. So games being, you know, board games, card games, any opportunity I can hit with my family together and we can play a board game or a card game. I love it. That is something that I am very much so into. My friends all make fun of me in the sense that, you know, Jenny always wants to play a game anytime we're getting together, and it's true. It's very true. I have a very hard time just sitting and chatting. I like to do something while I'm sitting and chatting and enjoying other people's company, and usually that comes out in the form of some kind of a game. I also love reading. I do a lot of Audible at the moment just because it's easy to be up doing chores and just be listening to a book at the same time. So I do enjoy my Audible, but just picking up a good old-fashioned book, being able to open it up and turn the page is something that I really love doing. And then of course, YouTube. and hanging out with all of my friends on YouTube. So you are a big part of my community and a big part of what I spend a lot of my time doing, and I thank you for being here. So that is something I'm very passionate about, and I hope that we can hang out more and get to know each other a little bit more. So feel free, again, introduce yourselves in the comments, say hi, ask me any questions down there that you want to know more about me. I just kind of gave you the highlights about myself. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'd be happy to answer them in a future Q&A. Until next time, again, my name is Jenny. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.